Church of Our Lady, for example, where you could go to see the famous Madonna sculpture that was made by Michelangelo. A unique opportunity to see Michelangelo outside Italy. And this is the Museum for Antiques, built next to the church in the 15th century by the richest family businessman who had some kind of monopoly on the beer. So now it's a museum for antique. We had more than 400 breweries in those days. That stores about 10% of the houses. But in those days the beer had almost no alcohol. In the background in front of us we see the old hospital, St. John's Hospital, that was founded in the 12th century. It was in use until 1976 and it has been one of the oldest hospitals in Europe. Now it's also for visits. There are a couple of things inside, like a very beautiful old pharmacy. In the Middle Ages you didn't have to expect a lot from a hospital. When you had to go, they did proselytings and they used leeches. Welcome to the Middle Ages. And on the left side some typical little white houses from the 17th century. I will bring you now to the brewery and the Béguinage. The Béguinage is an old convent, 13th century, and it's all behind the low bridge now. We have to go under the low bridge, so you have to be careful and mind your heads, please. And there we see the chimney from brewery Half Moon, the building on the left in a moment. It's one of the two breweries that we still have today. It's the most important one. Mind your heads, please. Brewery Half Moon, the whole building here on the left side. And the beer museum is also here in this brewery. Next to the bridge on the right, the entrance of the Béguinage, the old convent from the 13th century. But since the 1950s it's not a convent anymore. There are very beautiful little houses inside and local women are living in there now. Men are not allowed to live here. Everywhere you walk in Bruges, in almost every street, when you look at the houses and the buildings, you will find many Maria sculptures or Madonna sculptures, like two of them on the red building, and there is one on the house also. In total there are 320 different Madonna sculptures. And this is one of the places where we keep our swans, and you really have a good life. Free food, healthcare system, and when it starts freezing they can go on holiday. We we are expecting new baby swans soon, and you see that on the left here in a moment. Behind the windows you can see the big beer kettles. Watch out again, please. Be careful. Mind your heads. The cathedral is one of our 23 churches, and it's also the oldest one, built in the 12th century, 100 years earlier than the Church of Our Lady. Not all the 23 churches are in use as a church anymore now. One of them became a concert hall and another one became a restaurant. Beautiful windows on the left side are the typical Gothic style windows, and almost every building here in Bruges is built in this Gothic style. In fact, we have the most Gothic city in the world. There are almost no other styles here. On your right hand side, typical houses built for the working people, tiny houses from the 18th and 19th century. And the little one with the red window has been sold last week, and the price they asked was 400,000 euros. Only the red window. Now we go to the other side of the city, and meanwhile I show you the smallest window of Bruges. It's also in Gothic style, and it's not bigger than a book. The smallest window of Bruges. And then here we go, not under one, but under three different bridges from different centuries. The house is standing on top of the first bridge from the 17th century. The one in the middle is 16th century. And this one here with the stalactites is 15th century. Since this weekend we have our flea market here back on the right. It's not a lot, but it's something. A small antique market where you can buy all the things that you would normally never buy in your life. And the big white building, this is the College of Europe. All Europeans can study here 1 year after they did university and after they pay 29,000 euros. There is one in Poland also. They exist about 70 years, and in fact they are preparing our future European politicians here and in Poland. The same guys, the guys that we will see, on television in a couple of years, and the same guys that we already saw on television the whole COVID period because of their lockdown parties. Watch out again, please. It's not as low as the other bridge, but mind your heads, please. This is one of the nice, beautiful corners in Bruges. Beautiful view on the left side, you see the back of the town hall with some very special chimneys on top. 15th century, one of the oldest in Northern Europe. And if you want, you can take a beautiful picture now. This is the 13th century belfry tower. You can see that it goes to the right a little bit.